So why would you combine the listening, the movement and the visual stimulation?
Okay, so real life is multisensory. So I'm sitting here looking at the camera, basically looking at you behind the camera. I'm using my eyes. I'm listening to my voice, I'm listening to the questions, and I'm sitting on the chair and I can feel the chair underneath me, and I'm using my balance system. I'm moving my hands to give expression, which is using fine and gross motor. And to do all of that and to present a clear picture to you while I'm talking requires me to integrate all these senses together so that it makes sense in the moment, both to me and to you, hopefully. Now, if I'm in a situation where I've been told, say by a teacher or by my boss, that I'm slumping, you've got poor posture, I want you to sit up straight, I want to see good posture. And we often see that in children and their teachers or parents. Then if that's a challenge for me, if that's not something I've mastered, and balance and posture is something we see very poor examples of daily, then if I've been told that's the key thing to do and I haven't mastered it, then that's what I'm going to pay attention to and that's what I'm going to work on. But that's going to use my frontal cortex to do that if I haven't mastered that task. It should be managed automatically by my balance system, but if that's not working properly, it'll be a cognitive task. So I'm losing frontal brain performance to that simple task of balancing. And there's going to be less available for doing the higher order task that maybe what the teacher is telling me or maybe what my boss is telling me. Another example is if we've got, say, children in a car and the children start talking, and I'm driving and the radio's on and I'm just overloading because I can't cope. So real life is multisensory, so that the programs we use will drive performance quicker, more productively if they're multisensory. So we use visual, there's a visual component in our programs, there's a balance component in our program, there's an auditory component, and there's fine and gross motor. So things like jigsaw puzzles are awesome. As Maria Montessori, alerted us all to, that to master jigsaws, deliver many of the skills that we require for literacy and numeracy, we need to use the balance system to rotate the pieces. We need to use the visual system to look at them, to match pattern and shape. We need to use the frontal cortex to plan, to strategize. Where am I going to start? What am I going to do next? Am I going to do the outside first, or am I going to do that bright red figure? And we're sitting on a chair, so we're using the balance system and we're using fine and gross motor. So multisensory is king.